Strike time, baby! It's like a holiday. Why is my captions on? I don't need captions. Get off my screen.
We plan to share some details about the forthcoming Doom Raid 2, Gear Tier 16.
Alright, we definitely will be doing that after this. They probably won't drop that till like after this video. So we'll check that out.
And following the Game News channel. Honestly, I really cannot recommend doing this enough. What I also can't recommend enough is today's interview. Let's jump right in. It's a good one. All right, guys, we're back. I'm super happy to have back with us on the show, Mr. Byron Melsack. You're looking great. How you been?
Doing great. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, really quickly, for those that may have missed it, last week I was on Marvel Entertainment's YouTube channel, and there we briefly talked about in a video live stream that Weapon X is going to be the next team coming to the game. We talked a little bit about...
Oh, so they are calling it Weapon X.
Sabretooth as well. But you're here today to tell us about the third member of Weapon X.
That's right, Cerebro. I'm happy to announce that the third member of the Weapon X team and also the next legendary character in Marvel Strike Force is Wolverine's lethal nemesis, Omega Red.
For those that might not be aware,
I love that look.
Who is Omega Red? How did he meet up with Wolverine, and how do they come to butt heads so fiercely?
So Omega Red is a Russian mutant that has the ability to...
They got Lady Deathstrike right there. Ah, Archangel? Are they hinting at Apocalypse coming in and doing Four Horsemen? He always does stuff like that in his background.
In order to stabilize those implants, Omega Red needs a carbonadium synthesizer. But that tech was actually stolen by Wolverine and Sabretooth.
Carbonadium. Well, I know what I'll be looking for in the stores. Gonna have to collect Carbonadium. See what I'm saying? Thunderbolts? Thunderbolts is in the background? Whoa, he's fucking huge. Sorry, I don't mean to cuss. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you mentioned the carbonadium tentacles because that's what I would point to first. You can see that there are red spikes at the end of each of his two tentacles, making them even more menacing. Also on his back are two winding mechanisms that work to extend and retract the tentacles.
Oh!
It's one of his defining characteristics, so we wanted to give them the extra attention.
That is cool.
We kind of just draw a light even more the fact that those are like implants and they kind of like, you know, they extend and they
Tech.
go back inside.
Thunderbolts, Mystique, Wolverine.
And all of his abilities.
Yeah.
All right, time for the meat and potatoes. Let's get into Omega Red's kit. As usual, we like to start with the passive. This one's called Death Factor.
Yes, aptly named. And this one's a
Defense up.
Strap in.
On turn, heal self for 20% of this character's max health. Speed up and death proof.
His first 3 turns, he gains a stacking damage bonus. When he takes damage, he gains speed up and some death proof. If an enemy has immunity, the positive effect, he increases...
Lowers the enemy damage by 15%? Holy shnikes!
If he has his full Weapon X team, he lowers the enemy team's damage. He provides bonuses to damage and health to Weapon X allies in war mode. Also, in war, on spawn...
What is trauma?
Omega Red gains speed bar for each Weapon X ally. This works similarly to Magneto's passive with his Brotherhood allies. Then, he steals health from all enemies and distributes to himself...
That's insane.
...all of his Weapon X allies. And finally, if he has a complete Weapon X team with him, he applies trauma and heal block to all enemies.
Okay, you weren't kidding. There's a lot there. Let me dive into a couple.
That is legendary.
First thing you mentioned, the word trauma. What exactly is that?
So this is a brand new negative effect that prevents enemies from removing or flipping debuffs on themselves or their teammates. Trauma can be resisted like any other negative effect, but if it sticks, you won't be able to subsequently clear it. So you can think of this as...
Oh, so Phyla-Vell won't be able to clear any of the negative effects. This is more like an anti-Infinity Watch.
That sounds like something new. I don't think there's any other characters that have something that works like that before. What are some of the teams or characters where Omega Red's going to be able to make the full use of his ability against them?
There's some powerful teams right now that feature a lot of immunity. Marauders and Infinity Watch, for example, have a lot of immunity just spread around to the entire team. And also to be clear, that this doesn't stack. So if multiple characters have the immunity buff, this doesn't stack on top of each other. Just as long as one character has immunity, then your team will get the significant bonus to crit chance.
Okay, so it's almost kind of like a toggle.
Wow.
As long as there's that immunity on one of the members of the other team, it toggles on.
I'm smelling Raider action.
Can go on and off, right, during the fight.
Correct.
Okay, cool. All right, let's move on to the ultimate ability, and somehow I get the impression there's going to be more trauma in the future here.
Well, this one is called Tentacle Onslaught for a reason. So, starting off, Omega Red flips all positive effects to all enemies.
Whoo!
The primary target has ability block applied to them. Then, strap in for this one. Then he deals heavy damage,
Speed bar reduction.
and then reduces speed bar to all of his enemies. He also steals health from all enemies and redistributes to himself only. This bypasses heal block. So in many cases, Omega Red can recover from the brink of death with this ability. And finally,
Get
in war, this
outta
applies trauma to all enemies.
Yo, yeah, there's several characters I can think of where it's like, oh, you get them down to just that sliver of health, and then if they get to take another turn, they fill all the way back up again. It's
Wow.
You get to do it. All right, let's snake our way over to his special ability, please.
He said in war. It did not say on defense or offense.
Deals heavy damage and applies offense down to
Ooh, boy.
of this attack. He steals some health from each of those targets and redistributes to himself, again, bypassing heal block. The primary target of this attack also has trauma and ability of block applied to them. This is the only application of trauma that can be used outside of war. And finally, Omega Red applies speed up to himself and all weapon
But
access.
economically, that's
Okay,
3 charges.
this
That's
ability,
nothing.
We can use trauma anywhere. Doesn't matter. The game.
Correct, but it is only to the primary target, even though this is technically an area and effect attack.
Okay, so you raised a good point about trauma, especially if it can be used outside of war. Is that a negative effect that could be spread from somebody like, say, Hela, who can spread negative effects to other enemies? Or is it something like stun where it won't be able to be spread?
That is an excellent question, and we treat trauma like stun, where it cannot be spread because of just how impactful it is.
And finally,
Okay, so you can't spread it.
fourth
Good.
ability, the basic ability. Can you run that down for us, please?
Sure, this is Carbonadium Lash. He attacks a target for good damage and steals a bunch of health from them, redistributing to himself, and you guessed it, it bypasses heal block. This also prolongs bleeds, slows, and offense down. So try to pick out targets that have these negative effects to further punish them. All of these effects work on his counterattack, assist, and ISO attacks.
So, oh yeah, those ISO bonus attacks would really come in handy here then, wouldn't they? Speaking of which, what are some of your personal recommendations for ISO 8 classes that you're finding are...
Oh, Striker.
Well, the most powerful is definitely Striker because of his health steal and prolonged negative effects working on his ISO bonus attack.
Good, decent resistance. Focus is okay. A couple of his abilities already have focus on it.
So the healer ISO class specifically benefits classic heals, but health steal actually functions differently, so he won't be able to get the same benefit. This is also why health steal bypasses heal block.
So going back to something I mentioned earlier, we've already announced reworks for Wolverine and Sabretooth, but one of the questions that I've just been hounded with since I did that is, are they also getting stats boost in addition to improvements to their ability text? Do you know that?
Yes. There are going to be increases to Wolverine and Sabretooth's base stats for health, damage, armor, focus, resist, and speed. They're going to feel far more powerful and closer to the stats of our newer character releases. They are not going to be slouches.
There. You guys can stop hounding me now. It's coming.
Yeah, like that's
Typical
gonna stop,
founding
sorry,
legendary
bro.
is a unit,
Seriously.
right? Like the linchpin that holds teams together. We talked about 2 team members. How many more members of Weapon X will there be?
There will be 2 more members of Weapon X that will be announcing in the coming weeks.
So once we finally are able to reveal the full team,
Which they're on the covers of the comic books back there. Lady Deathstrike, obviously.
Omega Red and Weapon X being the most potent.
As there are many callouts to this mode in his abilities, Omega Red will be the most powerful in war. It's only in war where his passive and ultimate will be able to apply the new trauma effect to the entire enemy team.
And finally, the big question. Sure,
I don't care, man. With a redistribution and stuff like that, that's high value. That's high value outside of war.
It's the second legendary character that's being released through a Mythical Legendary event. The characters required at a minimum of 5 stars each are Captain America Sam, Maria Hill, Sharon Carter, Nick Fury, and Winter Soldier. Additionally, you'll need to get them to a minimum of Gear Tier 12 and ISO 8 T1 Level 3.
Alright, I need to work on Winter Soldier.
Sometime during the next version release.
All right, Byron. Once again, thank you so much for stopping by. Always love to hear all this information direct.
Alright, we need to see where my Winter Soldier is.
And let us know what you're going to be working on next.
As always, Cerebral, thanks for having me on. I had a ton of fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's check in on the extended community. And we are going to be going first over to our official Facebook group. Carl Fessler shared a screenshot of him nabbing 100.
Alright, you can keep that community stuff to yourself, Cerebro. We're here on business. So, we need to see where I am with Winter Soldier. I have more than enough stars, but now I gotta focus on ISOs. And he's a blaster. He does extra crit chance through his passive, so I'll probably just go Raider with him. Alright, let's check him out. Alright, so obviously Sam's good. Marie Hill, check. Sharon, where are you, Sharon? I've been working you for raids. I think you're perfectly fine. Oh, Secret Avengers. That's what it's going to be. So, bing. And so Sharon, I got the stars for Sharon. Her ISOs are done. Alright, so they're all good. Wait, who's the... Alright, oh, Nick. Let's go down. Let's highlight shield. Alright, so we need Nick Fury. Nick Fury checks. ISO's are good. I am all set. We just need to see where Winter Soldier is. I know he's not ready. And he's Hydra. Wonder if he's going to be getting... Okay, stars are a check. ISOs, however, not. I'm not going to invest anything into his character by way of, like, T4s and whatnot. But we can work these ISOs. I did Striker for him? Why did I do that? Probably way back when, and I didn't know the difference. Let me see where his abilities are at. Okay, Piercing. Bleed. Heal block. That's probably why I did it. Because none of his abilities actually boost crit at all. He gets 5% more crit chance for self and Hydra allies. What is this giving him? Extra 15% off the 25. That doesn't bring him up that much. Gain additional 5. Should all have 5%. So that's 20% on what, the 25 that's already there. That brings him to 45. You know, I suppose actually doing a raider would work out really nicely for him. I mean, he'd get like he'd go over 50 on this, right? So if I went here, he'd have a total of an extra 15% on top. So that would bring him up, what, 60%? Oh, that would, crit chance would be another 5 there, so it would be 20%. 20% on top of 45, that would be 65%. Crit chance, that's not bad, man. And then you get another 5% if you take on the T3. I probably will never do that for Winter Soldier, but you know what? We're gonna get him ready though. Boom. Guess what? I'm Omega Red ready. And he's a part of one of my favorite attack teams. That's probably why I got his level up there. He's already past gear tier 12. I don't need to take him any farther than that because I don't use him really ever outside of war. Alright, so let's put these guys on favorites in case I can do any smaller improvements. Alright, so we got Sam here, we got Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier's the only one I needed work on. I suppose 3 levels is not that huge of a deal. We can get him up there. Alright, Maria Hill is set. Alright, how about we put them on a roster, actually? That's a good idea. And just put them at the bottom. So we need... Okay, we'll put Maria Hill in the middle. I am gonna put... we'll put Maria... Maria's for who is there? If I had somebody in the middle, who would I want to be? Yeah, Maria Hill would be it. And then behind her, we'll put... You know what? No, let's put her behind Sam. So in the middle, let's go with Sharon Carter. She's not that high yet. I haven't done any T4s for her just yet. She's on the list, people. She's on the list. Get the Nick. One of my legendaries. I did tier 15 him thinking I was going to need him. So his gear's set. He's all set. He's all set, period. Let's get Sam up there. And then Winter Soldier. Oh, actually, got him barely. We'll save that. Alright, so there you have it. That is the legendary requirement for Omega Red, and I am Omega Red ready. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming by and watching this reaction to Strike Time and the reveal of Omega Red. He's looking super, super powerful in and outside of war. I think probably one of the best things about his character as of right now is the fact that he is not offense or defense specific. So Weapon X might be a little open-ended on where you want to put them. My recommendation right away, assuming that the others' passives follow suit, as in not offense or defense, just in war, period, is on defense. They're naturally going to have a lot more HP to have to deal with a lot of that trauma going around. So defense is probably going to be the way to go. So I would go to your defense list right now and decide who needs to get the axe for this and make sure that you're ready for it. So, just to reiterate, you need Winter Soldier, Nick Fury, Sharon Carter, Maria Hill, and Sam, Captain America Sam. And I'd fill up all the ISOs, levels, and gear that you can. I wouldn't even pay attention to the requirements, really. And you should be ready to go for Omega Red. I'm already ready. I'm ready to go. Ready, Omega Red ready. I'm so sorry I had to do it. Again, thank you so much for coming by. The cough button, everybody. Thanks for coming by and watching my reaction to the Strike Time video. Of course, head on over to YouTube, go to their Marvel Strike Force channel, like that stream, join their, subscribe to their channel because they do come out with some pretty decent content, a lot of fluff here and there, but that's why I bring you guys here, get my reaction, my thoughts on the characters, who's ready for it. I'm ready for it. I'm Omega Red ready. I wish you all passion, love, and gaming. And don't forget, rule number 1 of gaming is you go where the fun is. Thank you again for dropping by, and I'll see you guys in the next show.